Hello everyone and welcome to my math video with Miss Fatima. So today's lesson will be lesson number 9, which is volume of prisms on page 955. I'm gonna go over some key vocabulary before I get started. So this lesson is pretty straight to the point, but it does require a little bit of extra thinking when multiplying double digits. So the volume is the amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure. You can use either formula below to find the volume of a prism. So we have volume equals length times width times height. So you can see here that you can either use this formula or you can use this formula, which is volume equals base times height. And you are probably thinking, well, what is the base? So the base is the length times the width. So pretty much you are following the exact same steps. You are using the exact same numbers. The formula just looks a little bit different. It says here common units of volume are cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic yards, cubic centimeters, and cubic meters. So inches, feet, yards, centimeters, and meters will probably be the most common units that you will see associated with the problems that will be given. So in example number 1 says, on his family vacation to the beach, Armando filled a cooler with water and snacks. Find the volume of the cooler. So this is just showing the two different ways in two different formulas that were mentioned earlier in order to solve a problem. The first way is using the formula of volume equals length times width times height. So if you forgot, remember, this would be your length, which is 30 inches. So the length always will be your horizontal line in two-dimensional shapes. And this would be the width, which is 15 inches. And 20 inches would be your height. Okay, so this is your length, and this is your width, which is W, and the last one, which is 20 inches, is your height. So we have length equals 30, and width equals 15, and the last one, height, equals 20. So our formula here is length times width times height. Now multiplication is awesome because we can multiply any numbers in any order. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna go ahead and multiply 20 times 15. Actually, I love multiplying a number by a number that ends in 0 because we can use that trick of multiplying this number of 15 times 2 to get that product and then adding your 0. So we know that 15 times 2 is 30. 2 times 5 is 10. And 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3. So here we have 30. And if you add your 0 with the 20, that will be 300. And now we have 300 times 30. So 3 times 3 will be 9. And we add our zeros. So here we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3, 0. So our volume is 9,000. And this is in inches. I have to add this anyways. Inches cubed. Or you can say 9,000 cubic inches. So this is our volume for this example. Now we are going to use other way. So this formula is volume equals base times height. The base again is length times width. So if our length is 30 and our width is 15, then the base will be 15 times 30. And our height is still 20. So we have 13 times 50. So as I told you, you can multiply 3 times 15 and then you add the 0. 3 times 15 will be 45. And we have 1 0, as you can see. To add it, we are getting 450. times 20, which is the height. So if we multiply 450 times 20, this is an awesome again because both of our numbers end with 0. So we can just multiply our whole numbers that are in 0. So we have 45 times 2. 2 times 5 will be 10. And 2 times 4 will be 8 plus 1, 90. And then we can add, that will be 90. And then we add how many zeros? 1, 2. We have 2 more zeros. So the volume equals 9,000. And that will be inches cubed. Or you can say 9,000 cubic inches. And this is a step where you have to kind of check your work. Did you get the same answer of the volume using both formulas? For me, I did, and I get 9,000 cubic inches for both ways. Therefore, my work is correct. And to answer the question, the volume of the cooler is 9,000 cubic inches. Meaning that I use cubes to fill this entire cooler, I would mean 9,000 of them. Okay? Now we move to the next problem. This one is talking about a property of multiplication. So it says, remember that the associative property of multiplication tells you that the way in which factors are grouped doesn't change the product. You can group the factors to make the multiplication easier. So that is pretty much what I just said. You can pair any numbers together, multiplying them in any order that you want in order to make the most sense to you. Okay? So we have an example to find the volume of the prism. Here is our prism to the right. So here we have to use the formula of length times width times height. So if you can recall, we have our length is 17 L, and then we have our width, which is 7, and the last one we have our height, which is 9. So we have 17 times 7 times 9. So for this I chose to pair together 7 times 9. Because I know 7 times 9, that is the fact that you should know at the top of your head, that is 63. And then we have 17 times 63. Now I'm gonna go ahead and solve it right here so that you can see me solving it in front of you. So here we have 17 times 63. So we set that up over here. We are going to multiply our ones place 3 times 7, which is 21. Carry our 2. And then multiply ones place by 10 place. 3 times 1 will be 3 plus 2, which is 5. Now sketch out 2 since we use it. And we put our 0 here to hold the place of our ones place. So 6 times 7 is 42. Put 2 and carry up 4. And then 6 times 1 will be 6 plus 4 is 10. And now I'm gonna line up my digits and add straight down. 1 plus 0, so here we will add 1 plus 0 will be 1. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then we have 0, we bring 0 and 1 down. So our volume of this prism to the right here is 1071. And the unit of that volume will be centimeters cubed. Or you can say 1071 cubic centimeters. So the volume of the prism is 1071 centimeters cubed. Okay, then lastly, in the guided practice, we have to find the volume of each of these prisms. They are using the volume of length times width times height, the formula of this one, but they are using the formula base times height for the second one. So it's gonna be a little bit different. Alright, so we have here our length is 11, our width, which is 7, and our height, which is 9. So here we have 11 times 7 times 9. So in order to do this problem, again, it doesn't matter which number I multiply together. So for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and do 7 times 9, which is 63. And then multiply 63 times 11. So this problem looks very similar to the previous one. So I will come here to multiply 63 times 1. Now multiplying my ones, 3 times 1 is 3. And then 3 times 1 is 3. Hold my 0. 6 times 1, 6. And 6 times 1, 6. Add them together. 3 plus 0, 3. 3 plus 6, 9. And then we bring 6 down. So the volume equals 693 cubic millimeters, or you can say 693 millimeters cubed. Lastly, we have in number 2, we have our prism, and it says we have 4 feet, 6 feet, and 12 feet are our dimensions. So our formula for this one, we are going to use the formula. So our formula for this one, we are going to use the formula of volume equals base times height. Now we have height, but we are missing length and width. Actually, length and width is what creates our base. So our base is our length, which is 6, and our width, which is 4. Here we have length and width, which is how they got the base. 4 times 6 is 24 feet square. You can see that is a square because we use 2 dimensions. But if we use 3 dimensions, we do it cubed or to the 3rd power. So our base is 24 times our height, which is 12. I will go ahead and I solve that here. 24 times 12. 2 times 4 is 8. And then 2 times 2, 4. Hold my 0. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 2, 2. Now we add them together. 8 plus 0 will be 8. 4 plus 4, 8. And then we bring 2 down. So I get a volume of 288 feet cubed. So here we will write 288 feet cubed. So again, if you didn't want to use this formula for this problem, you would just do length times width times height, which is 6 times 4 times 12. You would get the exact same answer. So I could have used this formula for this problem and get 288 exactly the same way, just a little bit different steps. So I hope this helped to do the independent practice by yourself. And now, as usual, it's the time for the song volume.
To find the volume of a cube, side times side will tell you the number of times a cubic unit will be able to fit inside it.
Imagine a cube with edges of 3. Multiply 3 by 3 by 3 to see it can fit 27 units. Gotta mention that they're cubic. When finding volume, don't forget to mention the unit is a cube with 3 dimensions.
To get a rectangular prism's volume right, length times width times the height. Cubic units label 3 dimensions when we answer any volume questions.